In this video, I'll show you how I transported my legal firearms and ammunition on land crossings into the US from Canada and back into Canada. While traveling from the Yukon into Alaska, back into the Yukon, and then from British Columbia to Alaska, and then back into British Columbia on several occasions, I transported 3 firearms and related ammunition across the border without any issues. I'm a Canadian citizen and resident of British Columbia. I recorded the border crossings each time, and you will see firsthand how I did it, what the border agent said, and how easy this process really was. The 3 firearms I'm referring to in this video are all classified as non-restricted as per Canadian legislation. This video does not cover restricted, collectors, or prohibited firearms. Specifically, the 3 firearms I'm referring to are a Remington 870 shotgun, a Marlin 4570, and a Ruger 22. The ammunition included slugs, buckshot, 325 and 430 grain cartridges, and 22 long rifle cartridges. The shotgun and the 4570 were intended just for bear protection in the extreme remote areas I was traveling in and camping in for 2 months, and the 22 was for hunting grouse in Canada only. As a disclaimer, I have no knowledge of transporting any other firearms and am not an expert on this topic. I am merely showing you the experiences I had as a Canadian citizen when transporting my firearms across both the US and Canadian sides of the Alcan Highway border crossing, the Haines, Alaska border crossing towards the US, the Skagway-Fraser border crossing towards British Columbia, and the Hyder-Stewart, Alaska border crossing back into British Columbia in 2023. There's no secret how to transport firearms across the border between Canada and the US. Just a simple Google search on how to transport guns in the US will bring up many sites that go into detail on how to do this properly. In my research before the trip, I came across a lot of false information on social media. I'm sure there was a lot of true stories of bringing firearms across the border and having all kinds of issues with this. Relying on other people's opinions and posts on social media is just not the best source of information. Instead, I went directly to both the Canadian and US Customs information websites to get the actual process and requirements on transporting firearms legally into and out of each country. I've included the links in the description below. I did this 6 months before leaving for my trip, and now it's pouring rain on me. And it's the frickin' helicopter again. I can't win. Today I just cannot win. As a Canadian citizen, when crossing from Canada into the US, all I needed was one form. As of 2023, the form I needed was ATF 6NIA from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It is the application and permit for temporary importation of firearms and ammunition for non-immigrant aliens. The link to this form is in the description below. The form requires you to fill in your contact information, your possession and acquisition license number or your PAL, the list of firearms you're bringing across, the type and caliber or gauge, barrel length, overall length of the gun, and serial number for each one. On the back of the form, you will fill in a list for the ammunition you're bringing across, the type, caliber or gauge, and the exact quantity of each. Just sign and date it and send it via email to the U.S. Department of Justice ATF Bureau. And again, the link to the email address is down below. This process took me just over 2 months to get an email response. At first, I didn't get my approval as I accidentally left out the country of origin for each of the ammunition types, despite filling in the required city, street, address, and zip codes. They are that fussy about filling in these forms correctly. Once I filled in the information and sent it back, I received the approval about a month later. The approval comes by email with a permit number and signature of the Director of ATF on the exact copy of the original that you sent. This form is what is presented to the border crossing agents when you go from Canada into the US. If you're a Canadian resident, you will need to bring your PAL or possession and acquisition license while transporting your firearm or ammunition in Canada and when crossing a land border. When crossing from the US back into Canada, you do not need to show this form ATF 6NIA unless you are asked. Just have it ready in the event they want to see it. You will need to present them with your PAL or the possession and acquisition license that you normally carry. Several months before my trip, I contacted the Canadian Border Services Agency to see if anything else was required on my part to bring non-restricted firearms and their related ammunition across the border. I was told that there was nothing required, but it was a good idea to have a proof of origin card showing that each of the firearms originated in Canada. This little green card is for the identification of articles for temporary exportation, and it's form number BSF 407. I went to the local CBSA office at a border crossing to acquire this. Inland CBSA offices should also have blank cards for you to fill out. You will need to enter every item that has a unique serial number on it and have the card stamped by a CBSA official. Normally, a CBSA official will need to physically see each of the items on the list to verify that you do in fact possess it, and proof of purchase is not required. The card is then stamped and dated to make it official. This is the card that is then presented to Canadian border crossing agents when transporting these items. I also put my camera equipment in here just to be on the safe side. If you are not a resident of Canada and do not have a possession and acquisition license, you will need to acquire an approved non-resident firearm declaration, form RCMP GRC 5589E, and present this to a Canadian Border Services officer when declaring your firearms at the border crossing. The link for this form is in the description below. Watch as I cross the border on 5 separate occasions during my trip.
Coming into Alaska, border crossing. Customs to the right. Customs. You got my stuff, eh?
I got your passport, yeah.
Yeah. A little far away.
Hi there.
Where are you folks from?
He's from Winnipeg, I'm from Chilliwack, BC.
Okay. And where are you headed?
To McCarthy and Valdez.
Okay. How long will you be in Alaska?
Depends on the weather, 5 to 7 days, something like that.
Okay.
I have 3 firearms to declare.
Okay. So which one is Hans?
That's
Right here, yeah.
And Karsten.
Yeah.
You have 3 firearms. Did you declare them to Canada?
Yes.
Nothing's changed since then?
Nothing at all. No, not even the ammunition.
Okay.
It's exactly the same amount as on the back there.
Okay. Yeah, you never know when you'll need those around here.
Well, that's why we're carrying the 2.
That's
and
hilarious.
The other one's for hunting in Canada. So
I like that.
There you are.
thank you very
Safe
much.
travels.
Thank you. What a nice lady.
No, I got it.
Okay.
That was pretty breezy.
Yeah. Otherwise you'd be pulled through this building.
Wow, that was probably the
Hey.
easiest border crossing. We did it.
Yeah.
So, just so you know, I presented the border agent with the ATF form 6N1A to declare the 3 firearms that I had. She just glanced at it. She didn't even check the firearm. She said, "It's fine, good. You'll need that for protection around here. Have a good day." That was as easy as it all gets.
Yeah.
I think coming back into Canada may be a little bit more challenging, but we'll see. I mean, that was what, 2-3 minutes?
Not even.
It was,
I would say a minute and a half. That's it.
that was wonderful.
So a
So
lovely lady.
a good experience.
She reminded
crossing.
me of a friend that we have.
So we're in Alaska. It's official.
I guess you have to declare it. Eh? You have
I
to
have to
honestly
declare
say
my
what you
firearms.
got.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, and they say if they're whatever,
And you get hooped.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do not want to mess with border service agents at all, ever. They will find out they know, so you always tell the truth. So I've got here my proof of origin cards. I filled these out at the CBSA border crossing in Sardis, just south of Abbotsford, BC.
Oh, yeah.
It's what they look like here. There's these little cards, and you have to fill out the exact item that you have and the serial number and what it is. So in this case, I've got all my camera equipment, my lenses, and I've also got the 3 firearms are here. So it says it's a shotgun, it's a Remington 870 Wingmaster, and then the serial number, a rifle, so and so, and then I got 2 rifles here. One's a 22, one's a 45-70, the big guns for the bear, and the shotgun as well. So I've got all those. So I have to present this to the CBSA officer, and they may want to see that form again. I don't know. That's what I presented to the U.S. Border Crossing Agent, which is the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. I love it when those 4 things together are in a bureau. That sounds like it should be a convenience store more than anything else, instead of a bureau of Department of something of Justice. It's the U.S. Department of Justice. Oh my goodness. Anyways, sorry. Forms ATF Form 6NIA, which has to be filled out months in advance and stamped and signed by the government. So I have to present this and that. Let them know that I have the firearms, and they won't arrest me. So we'll see how this goes. All right, a couple more in front of us. And we're good. You got your passport there. Hello.
2 people?
Yes.
Yep.
Hold on the back window for me.
Yep.
Any pets or animals on board?
No, but I have 3 firearms to declare.
I'm gonna get to there.
Okay.
How long have you been absent from Canada?
4 or 5
about
days.
5 days, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And what was the purpose of your trip in Alaska?
We just went on holidays to Valdez and McCarthy.
Okay, all right. Was it good?
It was
Loved
awesome.
That was beautiful. Lots of photography.
Time to
So.
go back now.
Well, then we're going back down again to Haynes. So
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not finished.
because
yet.
we're not
No,
done
no.
yet. No.
Are you bringing back anything back to Canada other than food, grocery, and gas?
That's it.
Just that's it.
Well, we bought 2 fridge magnets.
Yeah, that's all I bought.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Any alcohol or tobacco coming back?
No.
Nothing that we purchased
No.
here. No.
Or that you purchased
Nothing.
over there?
Nothing at
No.
all.
No.
Any cannabis product with you?
No.
Cash or check more than 10,000 Canadian?
Oh
No,
gosh, I
I
wish I
wish.
did.
There's no?
No.
No.
Firearms or weapons on board?
Yes,
Okay,
3.
so 3, do you have the form?
Yes, I do.
Or permit or whatever you have. Yeah.
This is the
Are they
one that I
all
filled out in the U.S. and then I also have
Canada.
that one.
Okay, so you don't have the one from Canada.
No one asked me. I went to a CBSA office in
Do you have
Sardis.
your PAL with you?
I do.
Okay, let me see that.
Okay.
Your what?
My
The
pal.
3 firearms belong to you?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so I need to see it.
Okay. Yeah. So my pal is right.
Because you are
Here.
a resident, so I just need to see that.
So what is the form that you were talking about?
Yeah, it's just like an automatic that I set up, but it is for people who are in transit in Canada who are temporarily importing rifles,
I
stuff
see.
like that. So I can show it to you just so you
Thank
know.
you. I appreciate that.
I can even give it to you, so at
Thank
least
you.
you have it. But yeah, like you see, usually it's kind of like provide the reason for bringing firearms into Canada, hunting, competition in transit. So 98% of the time we give that to people in transit,
Okay.
or like sometimes hunting or sometimes protection against wildlife.
It's just protection for wildlife, and one of them is
But
for
you
hunting in
live
BC.
you live in Canada, right?
I live in
And because you
Chilliwack.
have that,
Yeah.
you do not need that form.
That's what I was reading. That's what I
Yeah.
thought was one of the
Yeah.
conditions, but I never did see this form,
So
which is
at least you
interesting.
have it. You can go online
Thank you.
also and just read about it. So
Okay.
you have more information. But personally, for those firearms, you do not need it.
Okay, thank you.
So you're good to go if you don't have it.
I appreciate
you
that.
very
Thank
much.
you so
Bye-bye,
much.
take care.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.
And there you go.
Well, that was interesting. It was a little different.
So what is that? Is that
So if I did not have, this is my possession and acquisition license. You absolutely have to have one of these if you own a firearm in Canada. That's the only way that you can actually purchase a firearm, own a firearm,
really?
or transport a firearm, or any ammunition in Canada. Like when I
Okay.
buy ammunition, I have to present this to the store cashier.
Oh, okay.
That is the only way to go. So.
Oh, okay.
Definitely your possession acquisition license. I showed them my other forms here. I showed them the ATF form. And then they gave me another form here, which is which she had explained. It's a non-resident firearm declaration.
So
but I'm a resident.
If you don't have that, you have to have that.
That's correct. So because I'm a resident of Canada,
I might as well hang on to that.
Yeah, I'm going to use that as and show you guys out there in YouTube land what that's all about as well. So
There.
we are heading down to Haines, so we're going to do the opposite again. We're going to have to show this same form, the ATF form, to the border crossing person down there, declare the firearms, and so there you go. People have told me that going across the border into and across for going into Alaska and coming back into Canada is an absolute nightmare for firearms. That is not true whatsoever. If you have the proper forms and you say the proper things, that you're declaring your firearms and you lock them in the back and you have your ammunition locked up, you should be good to go. You are good to go. And I've just proven that. So all you naysayers out there, don't believe it. You saw it happening in real time here, that you can bring your firearms across if you do it correct. Now, there are some regulations that you have to read actually on that ATF form. There's certain barrel lengths that are acceptable, some are not. So I had a shotgun with a 12-inch barrel. That was my bear protection gun that I purchased in British Columbia for when I'm camping and I'm in the backcountry. And that was not allowed. It says very clearly on that form that you have to have a 16-inch barrel at minimum. So I actually purchased a separate barrel just for this trip for that gun. We are just coming across the border into Alaska right now. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Get my passport out here.
How many people are on board?
Just two.
Where do you live?
I live in the Vancouver, BC area.
And I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Gotcha. How long are you guys coming in for?
We're going to be here for 3 to 4 days, depending on the weather.
Okay. Do you plan on leaving anything inside the United States?
We do not, but I do have 3 firearms to declare. And I have ammunition as well.
What do you guys do for work?
We're both photographers.
Photographers?
Yeah, I'm a commercial photographer.
Good deal. Are you hunting?
No.
No.
I'm just bringing 2 guns over for bear protection. The third one is for hunting in BC when I go home. We're just going to do some grouse hunting with the 22.
I gotcha.
All the firearms are in the back of the truck, locked up with trigger locks, and the ammunition is in an ammunition box that's locked as well.
Okay. Here's your passports back.
Great, thank you.
Here's your paper. Make sure you keep that with you, okay?
Yes, absolutely. They want to see this at the Canadian border site as well. So,
Good deal.
all right, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a great time, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that went very smoothly again with the firearms.
yeah.
No issues whatsoever. So long as you have this
Yeah.
Form 6,
That's the big
1
one. That's the big
NIA or
one.
NI-16 form, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
If you've got that form, you have it properly filled out. You look them straight in the eye. You don't lie about anything, nothing. You
No.
tell the truth,
Yeah.
100%
And I
of the
lean
time.
forward, and I smile a little bit.
So we are just about to cross into, well, we're actually technically in Canada, but we're going across the Border Services Agent Customs. That's what it's called. Canada Customs we're going through right now. And I have to declare 3 guns again. And we'll just see how it goes on this border crossing. I'm sure it's going to be okay, but you never know. Everyone's different. All these border crossing agents seem to handle things a little differently. So there is no line up here. What a surprise. Good evening.
Good day, how are you?
Fabulous, thank you.
Good. Where's home for you two?
I'm in Vancouver, BC, and he's Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Okay. We're related?
We're brothers.
Well, how long were you outside of Canada?
I think we were, 4 or 5 days, something like that. Yeah. Actually, no, less than that. Sorry, a couple days. Sorry?
Juneau or Haines?
We were in Haines and then Skagway.
Yeah.
Okay. How's the weather over on the Haines side?
It was beautiful actually until 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I have 3 firearms to declare.
How did you manage to get them into the States?
I have this form.
Wow, take a quick look at that. Okay.
And I've got one of
You guys
these.
going to a shoot or?
Nope, I just had 2 for bear protection and 1 I'm going hunting in BC on my way home. So I've got
very
those
good.
items there.
Okay, that works.
And you want to see my pal?
Oh yeah, I guess I should. Let's see, they even filled out a firearms form for you.
No, they didn't. They didn't. They just
okay.
gave that to me to show,
Because
but
they-
I
yes.
didn't need it because I had the other form.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's a non-resident firearms
That's
form.
right.
Very good. What's coming back from Alaska? Did you two do any shopping for souvenirs? Or anything else?
I just bought a baseball cap and a T-shirt.
And I have a sticker.
Any beer, wine, or liquor?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I give you all this stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hold on. And you're going into Whitehorse, or you turning south now?
Well, we're actually going to go into Carcross. Then we're going to go over to Tagish, down to Atlin, and then we're going to come back into Whitehorse where I drop him off. So
Very good.
Yeah.
What hoops did you have to leap through to get into the States with firearms?
none whatsoever.
You just
Actually,
showed
I filled this out about 3 or 4 months ago,
Okay.
and then
Is that the ATF Form 6?
6N1IA
Yeah.
or something like that, and then they stamp it and all that. It's got all the ammunition on the back. All the firearms are in the back, all locked up properly and everything. So
That's
we're
good.
good.
Any hunting license required? Because that used to be the other piece that you needed.
I'm not hunting, so
Okay, no, that was the other thing that was, it was a Form 6 and a hunting license.
okay.
And then you could carry them into Alaska.
Oh, really?
I think there's another caveat if you're in transit. If you're going Haines, Skagway, and then back into Canada, you're allowed to carry them in transit.
I saw that there was like if it's in transit only. I was reading that you didn't actually even need that form if it was just in transit, but we weren't transiting from one crossing to the other immediately. We stayed 4 or 5
it's
days.
2
So
days.
yeah.
I don't know how that all works, but
But-
I think it depends on the officer you're dealing with.
I think so.
Yeah,
Everyone's been great so far, going in both directions. So great.
Good, very good. Don't lose the.
Thank you.
contact.
That's now going in my wallet.
Okay. Drive safely. And
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey. Well, that went very well, as the other border crossings did as well. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. And so there you go. Fill out that ATF form, have your proof of origin card, don't BS the officer, and away you go. Look them straight in the eye. That really helps as well. Kind of lean forward
Yeah.
and show them that you're serious, and just tell the truth. And you'll be fine with carrying firearms across the border back and forth with no issues, so long as you stick to the rules. Anyways, that's it. I am just about to cross the border back into Canada again. And I've got to make a little pit stop right here. Hello, hello.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Right. Thank you. So what are you doing today?
I just went to see some grizzly bears.
Yeah, good. Any luck?
I saw one, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
no, it was good.
And what is it that you're doing?
I'm a commercial photographer. So
Okay,
I actually have 3 firearms to declare as well.
okay. You're Canadian. Do you have your pal, please?
Yes, I do.
And where are they?
They are, 1 is in the trailer and 2 are in the very back of the truck.
Okay.
And the ammunition is back there as well. In the back of
Nothing
the
is
truck.
loaded?
Nothing is loaded at all. All rifles are locked up.
Perfect.
Except the shotgun, which is in the trailer still unlocked, but not loaded.
Oh, okay, at least.
Yes.
Okay. So you have 1 shotgun and 2 rifles?
I have a 22 and a 45-70. I've actually got this is Canadian side, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to American. I actually
we
have
are.
a Form N1, and
These are for US ones.
this for bringing
Yeah.
across the U.S.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are
What
the
they
actual
have.
rifles
Okay,
right there.
perfect. A rifle there. So 2 rifle, 24, 22, 45, 70, and a 12 gauge.
Right.
Okay.
And I also have these forms that I had filled out.
Yep.
The possession, or
Yeah.
what are they called? Point of origin.
Depend what you have.
There they
or
are
what you
right
have.
there. Yes.
Okay.
Plus all my camera equipment is there as well.
Yeah. These were from Abbotsford.
Abbotsford, yes. I live in Chilliwack.
Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Do you have any kind of other weapon?
And that's all I've got. Fishing knife.
Any bear spray
I have a
pepper
bear. Yes,
spray?
I have 2 cans of bear spray.
as well?
Yes.
Okay. Any kind of drugs on board?
None
CBD
at all.
oil, gummies, whatever?
Nothing at all. No, don't do
And
any of that stuff.
Did you buy anything in either? Any souvenir, gift,
Nothing at all.
alcohol?
Didn't even stop until.
Okay. Are these working?
Yes, this one is working right now, actually. Am I allowed to be recording this?
No.
Okay.
Please.
I will stop. So I just came across the Hyder border into Canada again, and I was filming this, and obviously the officer had seen the little red flashing light on the GoPro here, and she asked me to stop filming, so I did, and I just passed through, so I just turned it back on again. But interesting that they wanted me to stop. The other border crossing agents obviously didn't know that I was recording the conversation. I had the camera this time kind of facing more towards the window, because the last time I had my brother with me, and I had to record him at the same time, so camera was facing a different angle. So they obviously didn't see that. Otherwise, maybe they would have asked me to stop recording as well. Regardless, coming across the border with guns, again, no problem. I just showed them the right paperwork, looked them straight in the eye, didn't lie, and showed them the possession acquisition license. They were just fine with all that. So I'm now rolling back into Stewart after seeing that grizzly bear playing with the salmon in the water there. That was excellent. Well, you can see just how easy it was for me to cross over the border with my firearms and ammunition from Canada into the US and from the US back into Canada. Here are some additional tips for crossing the border with your firearms. Have proper trigger locks on each of your firearms. Have your ammunition in a locked or separate location from your firearms. Be courteous. Be honest. Border Services agents are trained to detect when you're trying to deceive them. And above all, declare your firearms. Just say, I have firearms to declare. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching.